Talk us through the decision that's been made. What are you looking at doing to try and ease this housing problem in Melbourne City?
Well, last night, after a really good debate, it was unanimously agreed to go to the next step, which is consultation on a local law to come in next year that would introduce a registration fee and a nightly cap on short stay accommodation as a really proactive measure to try to flip more short stay accommodation to become longer term homes here in Melbourne.
All right, how many short term rentals or places that are used for the stays and Airbnb? It's not only Airbnb, of course. How many are there?
Well, in Melbourne we have the largest short stay accommodation market in Australia, more than 4,000 places regularly available for short stay accommodation. We do recognise, Lisa, the important role that that market plays in tourism, but at the same time we've got tens of thousands of hotel rooms available to support the tourism market. On the other hand, it's our lowest rental vacancy ever, 0.8%. We've got tens of thousands of workers coming to Melbourne and we need them for critical sectors such as hospitality, arts and aged care. And we really do need to do more to create housing supply in Melbourne.
What's the modelling telling you? Do you have data that it will actually make a difference?
This is a really interesting one and why the consultation will be so important. And I can say already, Lisa, we've had so much feedback from yay to nay on our approach here. At the moment, we are suggesting a registration fee of $350 and a night cap of 180 days. We've looked at other cities around the world and around Australia, and really the most compelling lever is the nightly cap. In some cities like San Francisco, it's just 30 days, and that really does mean that property owners make that flip to long-term accommodation. But in Sydney at the moment, for example, it's 180 days. So we're really suggesting a step into this, but the consultation will really help us identify what's going to be the most compelling lever to help property owners become the heroes in this housing supply crisis.
You mentioned Sydney. It does have a 180 night cap as well, but in the last 2 years, no penalties at all. If you actually brought in a system like this, can you guarantee it'll actually be policed? And how do you do that?
Yes, another challenge in many ways, because this is an unregulated market at the moment. So we completely understand the challenges ahead. We have seen in other cities quite a good voluntary registration, and I think that's a fantastic thing. But we can also work with utilities companies, with owners' corps. It's particularly apartments here in Melbourne, Lisa, so I think that's an advantage for us and other property owners to identify where are those short-term accommodation operators and to start to liaise and regulate them.
Just finally, Sally, Airbnb and other groups have suggested that by councils going it alone, you could balkanise the system. Is there an argument for a state-wide approach here?
Actually, we think the other way, because short stay accommodation is very different in every municipality across Victoria. We know that in some regional and rural cities, short stay accommodation is the predominant option for their tourism market, and they don't have a hotel motel market to be able to support tourism. So for them, short stay accommodation is vital for that segment, and therefore they might not want to introduce bylaws like this. So I think really it is far more nuanced than people understand. In Melbourne, we've got lots of accommodation for tourists, and we have a housing crisis for workers, and that's what we're really focused on in Melbourne, Lisa.
Sally Cap, thanks for joining us this morning.
Thanks, Lisa Miller.